Okay. Complete disassembly of a Kimber Pro Series 1911. The only difference between this Kimber and many other ones of the larger stature are this is a bushingless barrel. So, that being said, we'll go through some of the tools we have here that we will be using. And while I'm off camera, I'm just looking for one more tool. So, real quickly, empty magazine, whatever tool you need to take off your grips, a hammer that you can use to hammer things without damaging things, takedown tool that comes with the gun, paper clip will work as well, Allen wrench for your mag release, a few punches, may or may not need a flat screwdriver, but keep one handy, and I have a little pan here for small parts. Some oil here too. Let's get right to it. Take down our gun. It's already in a locked back position. We use our takedown tool. There is, let's see if we can get in there. There is a spot in there. Little hole. Put our tool in. Ease the slide down. Alright. Line up our takedown notch here. Push from the back side. Alright. On our slide stop. Should come right out. Put that in our little pan. If we're lucky, this will come right off. Leaving us the ability to, now sometimes if you put that pin in too far, see how it's stuck against the edge there. So what you need to do is just put a little pressure on it and back that pin down a little. Now we're good. Alright, so we can slide that out, slide our barrel out through the front here. If you want to take this down, the easiest way I recommend is upside down in your frame. Alright, get your bushing in there. Now you can use your hand strength here. Careful not to let this go because it will go flying. Alright, easy. There's our 3 parts there to our guide rod assembly. Alright. I'll take our slide apart. This is where one of our punches will come in handy. This is what's called a Series 80. What makes this a Series 80, or actually Kimber refers to it as a Series 2, is the presence of this plunger here. This locks in the firing pin if you inadvertently drop the gun with the hammer cocked and a round chambered. It'll stop the gun from firing. What that does is it's actuated by this little plunger here. This little arm off your grip safety. So if you can get a better look at that. Yeah. So that's what that does. It's one extra part in a gun. Some people say that attributes to not as good of a trigger pull because it's moving one other part, but as you can see, it has nothing to do with the trigger and everything to do with the grip safety. Okay, so back to taking our slide apart. So we hold our plunger down here, we push in on our firing pin while sliding up. See how we did that? Let's just do that one more time. Push in and slide up. Now you can remove this piece. The firing pin won't, because of that safety, the firing pin won't come flying out. I can go in there. What you need to do to release your firing pin is to push. Now you want to hold your finger on there, and you'll hear it when I push the button. See that little click? Now it's there. So you just want to put your finger over that, and then hold the pin down the whole way to release it. You can pull this off here if you want and clean. It comes off easy. It's recommended to make sure you pull it from right from the base here so you don't stretch your spring. So you want to kind of just twist. It kind of takes it right off. And when you're putting it on, same thing. Just twist it on. Less chance that you will bend it or damage it. If you do bend it, damage it, or lose it, they are relatively cheap and easy to acquire. So that's that. It's our firing pin. Now if we want to remove our extractor, we come in here, Try and get the best view. We're going to push down on our extractor. See that? Thus, pushing it out from the back. Comes out about a 1/2 inch. You need to hold your plunger down and turn it, and it comes out the rest of the way. So, see how I turned it? It was about that far. So when we go in, same thing. Turn it, and it's in. Takes a little practice, but once you get it, hold your plunger down, out, turn up, pull out. Easy as that. So our slide's fully disassembled. If we want to clean it or do whatever we need to do to it, now's the time. You can run a mop in there. Small, it's like 17 or 22 caliber mop would work good in there if you wanted to clean that out. No parts move in there, so I don't really feel it's essential to be that clean. What it does is, this is like a spring to hold onto your extractor rounds. You can see that part was actually dirty. Okay, keep on moving here. By the way, this video is going to be in 2 parts, and hopefully the assembly goes well. So now we're going to work on our whatever tool is required to remove your grips. It's not essential that you remove your grips, but I do recommend it because sometimes you got to bang on this pin here for the mainspring housing, and it's just easier to don't want to risk damaging your grips, especially if you have expensive ones. These are VZ grips. They were $65. I'd rather not replace them because I broke them. So the 2 seconds it takes to remove my grips, I do not mind spending that time. Okay, so our grips are off. Now we can move on to the safety. We're going to remove our thumb safety, put that in the up position. That needs to be done with our hammer back. Basically, you're going to push. There's a pin on this side. Take notice now, this is a good time to notice that all the pins on this side of the gun, the ejection side, are rounded, and they're all different sizes. So it's very hard to get them mixed up, and it helps you remember which way they should be going into your gun. So on here you can kind of put a little pressure, and you're just going to wiggle your safety, and it's going to slide right out. Okay, so that's done. That also holds in our beaver tail, but usually the beaver tail is not going to come out with that. So the next step is to, and be very careful here, we want to put our hammer down just to relieve some of the tension off the mainspring housing. You want to put your hammer down very easily, okay? You don't want to let it go slamming, right? You just want to lay it down easy. So however that works for you, get a good few fingers on it, just bring it down easy. So now we're going to remove, one other thing. See how this plunger here came out? It won't come flying out, and that's because I'll take it out for you. Most 1911 companies, they kink the spring, so you don't lose that piece. It's 2 different sizes. It'll only go in one way, really. But just thought I'd mention that. So now our mainspring. It helps to have like a little block of wood, which I do not have handy. I don't like to beat on anything, and we can put our magazine here. We use our punch. Give it a few light taps here. You can see how light the taps actually were. It doesn't take much. This pin has a dimple in it, and the other side is rounded, so you'll always remember which way it goes. And this is the only pin with a groove. So if you ever get confused about your pins, at least your mainspring one is the only one that has a groove in it. In our little pan. So now we can remove, I recommend just putting a little pressure on this. You're going to see it's going to slide up on you just a little bit. This is probably, for me, the most pain in the butt part with putting the gun back together. So we can slide out our mainspring housing here. That's out. It's the only plastic part on the gun. Don't ask me why they gave us plastic mainspring housing, but the only plastic part on the gun. Take out our beaver tail safety. What's left here is our sear spring. Okay. Side to side. Here's our strut for our hammer. So now we take our hammer out, push from the back. You see this pin extrudes. You can pull that out, and you're going to get your hammer. Last thing we're going to do is take out our trigger group in here, which consists of the disconnector. See if we can get some light on there. This is our disconnector, which is against here, our sear, and our Series 80 safety piece here. We do that by pushing on the pin on the back side here, growing that pin out, and these parts are going to fall right out. We'll get two, and if we work hard enough at it, the third should come out. There we go. There's our three pieces. I'm just going to lay these here because we'll be putting it back together very soon. Last thing we want to do is take our trigger out. We do that by removing our mag release. On the Kimbers, it's a very, very tiny Allen wrench. Some of them use screwdrivers. Basically, you just push a little, turn it, and you get to the point where it just falls out. Show you that again. When we put it in, it's the same thing. You kind of just get it into position like that, and all you really got to do is turn it clockwise. I don't know why I feel like you need to see this twice, but you push on a little bit and turn it clockwise. Oops, we almost had it. See, and it snaps right back in. So counterclockwise to take apart, clockwise to put back together. Slide our trigger out. Done. Gun's fully disassembled. Now you can clean it and do whatever you want to do. I'm going to do a little touch-ups here on cleaning it, and then I'm going to restart the video for the reassembly portion. Thanks for watching.